So today I'm going to be showing you how to clean the SH300 handpiece, which comes with our K38. Comes with other Saeyang drills as well. We do the K35, it comes with that. Very nice handpiece made from stainless steel and a very good weight, which is also very important in these. We found in these handpieces. You can't have it too light, but also at the same time you can't have it too heavy because you don't want it to ache your arm after use. This is a perfect balanced weight, and you know. And for heavy duty use, you can use it all day, every day, and as long as you keep on top of the cleaning, it will last a lifetime. This is what I'm going to show you what to do today. So the bit we're going to be cleaning today is the actual nozzle, where the bearings sit inside. This bit houses the motor, which spins around. If you look closer, you can see the little blue fans there. That's the motor's beneath that. But when the blue fans are spinning, that means your motor's in use. You can clean down there actually, or just give it a good wipe. And something I'll be coming to later is our, well, it's a compressed air in a can basically, and you can fire some of that down here and clean any debris. But not to worry too much about getting to the motor. As long as your cover's over it, you'll be absolutely fine. It's the end we need to concentrate on, this bit down here. So when you get these handpieces, we supply them, and I think most people do, with two tools. Very interesting shapes. One of them looks a bit like a house, you could argue, and both are equally as important as the other. And the next tool is like a multi-tool, has a few different functions on it. The most important we're going to be using is the hook on the end, and like a small triangle type shape in the middle of the multi-tool there. So the first thing we'll be doing is taking the actual nozzle off, so we can access the chuck for cleaning. The chuck and the bearings sit inside this nozzle here. As soon as we take this off, we'll be able to access that. Now the first thing to remember when taking these apart is they're full of all sorts of springs, washers, bearings, and ideally you need a big open surface so anything falls out you can see exactly where it goes. You can locate it. I've spent hours and hours on my hands and knees on carpets trying to find bearings and washers and all sorts, and let me tell you, it's not that exciting and it's not that fun. So yeah, big open space so you can see anything that falls out, and to open the actual end of the nozzle, you will see there's a small kind of dot and indentation about, well, towards the bottom of the top half of the nozzle, so you know, about halfway down. Now this is where the first multi-tool comes in, and there's a little hook on the end. A lot of people ask me, what is this hook for? And it's for simply opening these. You hook into the little hole, oh, sorry, wrong way, and you twist and it unlocks it. The last thing I'll be doing is getting any pliers or anything on here, because you're going to scratch it and you can always damage it. So use the hook into the hole, twist, and it's off. And as you slowly twist off, just be careful of everything that comes out. We're concentrating on this bit, we're cleaning this bit today. You can, like I said previously, get a bit of air duster down there, just cleaning the debris that's coming to the motor, but it's not necessarily. Most of these stay quite tidy, and they're also very well contained. Do not, under any circumstance, take this bit off there. That will pull off. So be very careful when removing the nozzle from the motor. If this comes off, the only way we can fix it is by sending it to us. We've got a special tool basically here, and it all works on compression. There's two springs inside which compress against two other bearings, and the only way to get it back together is if you use the tool that we have. So do try very hard not to pull that off there. Once it's off, you will get back on at home, and it's a send-off job, unfortunately. So put that to one side. We won't be using that, and we'll be concentrating on this on the end nozzle here. So carefully remove the cone. There's a tiny washer. Put that to one side. There's a tiny washer on the end of these. Keep the washer on this part of the unit as we clean it, because the last thing we're doing is losing that washer. That's very important actually. Or don't keep the washer in here either. Take it. If you keep it in there, there's a chance it could bend or, you know, not going right when you put it back together. So this is what we're going to be taking apart. Dead easy. Get the multi-tool again, the one with the hook on the end. You're looking for the small triangle. And the small triangle, there's two. One's for the bigger drill, one over hand pieces. The small one's this one. Just sits over the end. If you look down at the end towards the chuck, it's a triangle shape. The triangle sits over the end. Hold that tight. Pick up your second tool, your house-shaped kind of tool, and that goes into the end of the cross. There's like a plastic sort of housing here. It's very important you use this tool for this job. If you start putting a screwdriver in the end of this plastic sort of coupling here, you could really churn up the cross shape. As soon as you churn that cross shape, all that's going to happen is the motor sort of shaft sits in there, and it's just going to spin round. It's not going to connect with the plastic and spin your burr. So it's very important you use the tool. It slips inside the end, and it's a very easy job. Just twisting. Very boring. Twist until it's a lot loose, then you can use your finger. Use your fingers there. Move the tool at the end, and you're going to slowly pull this off. Keep this together. There's a small spring and the plastic housing there. Keep that to one side. Remember to keep the washer in place, and then pull the chuck out of the burr in. So one thing I did forget to mention actually is that it's very important to keep the burr inside the chuck at all times when we're doing the dismantling and the reassembling of the actual handpiece. When it comes to cleaning, and we've got to this point, you can take the burr out, that's fine. And as you can see, if you look down, look down the actual chuck, this is where most of the debris is going to gather or collect, which is going to alter the spin and the performance of the bearings at the end, and essentially the turning of the chuck. So get your compressed air, and all you'll do is spray down the end, both ends. And one thing as well is important is a lot of stuff can collect on the outside, and you can really stick to it. So the preferred, I've gone through many different wipes, again very exciting. The one that I find the best is the Zoff wipes. These are like adhesive removers, and they will literally wipe off anything, and they're brilliant because they're very small, so they're very easy to get into the nuts and crannies of the little parts and inside the drill. The wipe clean pretty much anything really, and both the wipes and the dust. I'll put links in the bottom of the video, and you can go purchase them. We don't actually sell these, and we get them from a party. So I'll put links, third parties, where you can get these from. But you can, just Google it. And most wipes I do, but I found these are some of the best really. Putting it back together. So you've cleaned this. You can always give your the other end of the drill. Make sure you don't use that washer. A bit of a spray as well. The chances of getting anything in here are pretty slim. But whilst you've got the actual compressed air out and your wipes out, wipe down your sides like this. One thing you'll never need to do as well with these handpieces is use any sort of oil. They're all the oil's contained in this sealed unit at the end here, so they'll never really get out. It's all pretty tight in there, so you never to oil anything like that. It lasts a lifetime really without doing anything like that. Just keep on top of your cleaning, you'll be fine. Right, put it back together. Place your burr back in. Very important. If you don't place the burr back in, when you come to tighten this, it will tighten too much, and you'll never get a burr back in again. You'll have to undo it again and unscrew everything and do it back. So place your burr in the end, then your chuck in the end of the drill there. Get your little plastic and spring sort of coupling that slips in the end, and it's basically the reverse of what we did before. The little triangle on the end of the chuck, your little house tool, as it will now be known, slips in the end and turn away. Very important not to over tighten these. Turn until it stops, and that's it. And it stopped. Once you start over tightening it, you're going to damage the thread inside, which again could damage the turn of the drill. The nozzle back on. Actual motor onto the end, and again twist and do an over tighten. Twist till it stops. Get your little hook. And just reverse what you did before. Tiny little bit of tighten, and we are good to go. Just test it. There you have it, the cleaning of the SH300 handpiece. It's all about your working hours, how often you clean it. If you're working with it every single day in and out, you might want to clean it definitely once a month. Or if you don't use it as frequently, once every few months will be absolutely fine. If you've got any questions at all, put them in the comments below, or you can email info@tafsolutions.com. Thank you for watching.